Hey there. Ready to dive into today's business world? We've got a lot to unpack today.
Yeah.
From AI making some pretty big moves to billion-dollar deals and even a little bit of drama
Oh, yeah.
going down in the corporate world.
Always exciting.
We're going to be looking at the USA edition of today's Pasted Text News.
Okay.
That's Monday, October 21st, 2024, for those of you keeping track at home.
Yeah.
So whether you're, getting ready for that big meeting or just insanely curious about what's making headlines,
Right.
we've got you covered.
Absolutely. And I think what's really interesting about today's news is that it's not really just about, individual companies making moves.
Yeah.
It's really about whole industries being reshaped,
Yeah.
like right in front of us.
Well, absolutely.
It's pretty amazing.
Let's start with the tech world.
Okay.
Because Microsoft is about to release its AI agents
Right.
for everyday tasks.
Which is a big deal.
Big deal, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about things like automated customer service, sales leads, managing inventory, the whole
The whole 9 yards.
9 yards.
Yards.
I mean, this is the potential for increased productivity here is huge.
Huge.
But it does make you kind of wonder,
Right.
what does this mean for people's jobs as AI starts to handle some of these tasks? And it's not just a tech industry question either.
Yeah.
This is something that like every sector is going to be grappling with, I think.
Yeah, it's a big question for sure.
Yeah.
But while Microsoft is taking this approach with AI,
Right.
IBM is doing things a little differently.
Okay.
They're releasing their newest AI models as open source
Interesting.
and hoping that their paid tools
Okay.
will then help companies actually
Right.
use these models effectively.
I see. So it's a different approach.
Different approach, yeah.
So they're basically saying, okay, here are the models. Now, if you want to really leverage them,
Right.
you're going to need our expertise, our tools.
To really make the most of them.
Yeah, it's a fascinating strategy.
It is, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because essentially what you have is IBM betting on their expertise
Okay.
and aiming to make AI development more collaborative.
Right.
Whereas Microsoft is leveraging its massive user base and existing platforms
Yeah.
to kind of get a foothold in the market.
Okay.
It's a classic case of different approaches to the same
Yeah.
game-changing technology.
It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's shift gears from tech and talk about the auto industry,
Okay.
because it's got its own share of news today.
Well, let's do it.
Elon Musk and Tesla.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah, under pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
Because investors aren't happy after that recent reveal of their robotaxi plans. Kind of fell short of expectations, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, the autonomous vehicle space has been, it's been all hype for years now.
Yeah.
And investors are
Getting impatient.
getting a little tired of waiting for some actual tangible results.
Yeah.
They want to see these robo-taxis on the roads.
Right.
They want to see them picking up passengers and generating revenue. And
Right.
so far, it's been a lot of promises and not a lot of delivery.
Yeah.
And this is a crucial moment for Tesla.
Yeah.
Especially because you've got these traditional players like GM and Ford
Right.
that are stepping up
And they're
coming on strong with their own electric vehicle programs.
Absolutely. And speaking of GM and Ford, they've got
Yeah.
their own challenge, right? Trying to keep investors happy
Right.
with the profits they're making from their
Right, exactly.
gas-powered vehicles,
Yeah.
while also pouring billions of dollars into EVs.
Yeah, it's a tough balancing act.
It is.
They need to be showing a clear path to making money in the EV space.
Yeah.
But that transition is costly.
It is.
The competition is fierce.
Yeah.
But on a completely different note, did you see that Atlantic Union Bankshares is buying Sandy Spring Bancorp
Wow.
for a cool $1.6 billion?
Talk about a big move.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Is this a sign of
Wow,
more consolidation to come in regional banking?
it very well could be.
Okay.
I mean, we might see a wave of similar deals
Sure.
as smaller banks look to combine in order to compete with,
Sure.
the giants in the industry.
Yeah.
And speaking of deals,
Okay.
Viadcorp is selling its events business,
Interesting.
which on its own is kind of interesting.
Right.
But get this,
Okay.
they're getting over $500 million for it.
Wow.
And they're planning to use that money to focus on luxury travel.
That's quite a pivot.
It is, isn't it?
What do you think is, what's driving that?
Well, it seems like they're really trying to capitalize on some of these pandemic-fueled shifts
Oh.
we saw in leisure and travel. Remember, everyone's talking about revenge travel.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like they're trying to position themselves to cash in
Yeah.
on that
pent-up demand.
that growing demand for,
Yeah.
really high-end experience.
So it's all about the experience now.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
Experiences over,
Things.
just things, right? Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that strategy plays out.
It will.
But yeah, so you've got these companies making these big, bold moves.
Right.
Then you've got others that are facing pressure
Yeah, yeah.
from activist investors. Like
Oh, okay. Where's it?
Kenvue,
Kenvue, yeah. Remind
the
me.
company behind Band-Aids, Tylenol, all those brands.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They just went public last year.
Okay.
And now they've got Starboard Value
Okay.
kind of shaking things up a bit.
So what's the deal there?
Well,
Why are they targeted?
activist investors.
Right.
They're always on the lookout
Okay.
for companies that they think are underperforming.
Right.
They see untapped potential.
They come in with ideas
Okay.
for how to, in their view, increase shareholder value.
Okay.
And that might be through operational improvements. It might be through changes in strategy.
Right.
Sometimes it even means shaking up the leadership.
Right.
So in Kenvue's case,
Okay.
it seems like Starboard Value
Yeah.
thinks they can improve the company's performance,
Okay.
boost profits.
Gotcha.
And they're not the only ones.
Oh.
Southwest Airlines has Elliott Investment Management
Okay.
kind of breathing down their neck as well.
What are they pushing for there?
They want to see some changes at the top.
Really?
Yeah, they want some new faces
Interesting.
in the leadership team.
Okay.
And they're not afraid to,
Right.
make some noise to get what they want.
Yeah, these activist investors, they can
Yeah,
they can really
they can shake things up.
make waves.
They can.
Yeah.
And, sometimes that pressure,
Right.
it can spark some positive change.
Yeah. It seems like Elliott Investment Management, they believe that shaking things up at Southwest
Okay.
is the best way to improve the airline's finances,
Sure.
increase shareholder value. So,
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see
yeah,
how that all plays out.
absolutely.
It sounds like we're seeing a theme here.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
investors are not afraid to shake
Yeah.
things up if they
No, they're not.
I don't think a company's living up to
Especially these days, right?
Yeah.
Like the stakes are so high, you
Yeah.
gotta perform or else
Exactly.
you're gonna have somebody knocking at your door.
Speaking of companies facing tough decisions,
Okay.
Boeing is in the news because
Yeah.
they're looking to sell off some assets.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a classic move when you're trying to,
When you need to free up some cash.
free up some cash, stay afloat,
Right, right.
if you're up the books. Yeah, if you can sell off parts of the business that aren't essential or maybe aren't performing well,
Yeah, the non-core asset
you get some capital to invest in your
in the things that are,
core operations.
yeah, the bread and butter.
Exactly.
Makes sense, sometimes you got to stay
Yeah.
in line to stay agile.
Absolutely. You gotta adapt or die.
In other news, it seems like the healthcare world could be headed for another shakeup.
What we got?
Cigna and Humana
Okay.
back at the negotiating table talking
Yeah,
about a potential merger.
Right, didn't they try this once before?
I feel like they did, yeah.
They did, yeah.
Wasn't that a couple years
That
ago?
was a while back.
Okay.
But,
What's different this time?
well, the healthcare landscape
Always changing.
it's constantly evolving, right? And so for these companies, for Cigna and Humana,
Yeah.
merging could be a way to kind of gain that larger footprint.
Makes them more competitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Reduce costs, increase their market share. So,
Economies of scale. Right.
exactly.
Interesting.
So we'll see if
Round two, yeah.
if they can make it work this time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can get it done.
Yep.
And before we wrap up, we have to talk about this legal battle that's heating up
Oh, yeah.
involving fake weight loss drugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some companies in hot water for selling products that they claim have the same active ingredient
Oh, boy.
as Mounjaro, that new drug from Eli Lilly.
Wow, that's dangerous.
Yeah, so
You're talking about a serious issue.
yeah, counterfeit pharmaceuticals.
Not only is it a threat to a company's bottom line,
Right, they're losing money.
yeah, but to public health.
Absolutely.
I mean, people could be putting themselves at risk
Right.
taking these fake drugs.
So it's good to see Eli Lilly going after these counterfeiters, I think.
It's important for companies to protect their intellectual property.
Right, but also
Protect the consumer.
protect the consumer. Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's a good reminder, though, that
Every time there's some,
menu break.
the breakthrough, there's always somebody trying to take a shortcut and cash in.
Right, cut some corners.
Exactly.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From AI and automation to the ongoing shifts in healthcare, the constant sort of push and pull between companies and investors.
Yeah, it's a lot to digest.
What stands out to you from everything we've talked about today?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is just how quickly things are changing.
Right.
It really feels like we're seeing the future unfold in real time right in front of our eyes.
It's happening now.
It's happening now, and companies are having to adapt so fast.
Yeah, no time to wait.
No time to wait. Technology is changing the game every single day.
That's right.
Investors are demanding both innovation and accountability.
Yeah. They want to see results.
They do.
And they want it now.
It's a very dynamic time to be following the business world.
It is. It is.
That's for sure.
And for you listening out there, the next time you come across a business headline, don't just read it right. Think about what's driving that story.
What's behind it?
What does it mean for the bigger picture?
The bigger picture, exactly.
That's how you turn information into insight.
Absolutely.
And who knows? Maybe even a competitive edge.
You never know. You're right.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep asking those questions.
Keep them coming.
And keep diving deep.
Dive deep.